What is obesity? By definition, obesity is the excess or abnormal fat accumulation that may impair health. The rate of childhood obesity has increased dramatically over the past few decades in the United States due to unhealthy eating habits. According to the article, Prevalence of Obesity and Trends in Body Mass Index Among U.S. Children and Adolescents, 1999 to 2010, by Cynthia Ogden in the Journal of the American Medical Association 2010, research has found that childhood obesity in the United States is at an all-time high, with nearly one-third of all children classified as either overweight and or obese. The rate of childhood obesity in the United States is indicated not to decrease anytime soon in the near future. Many people overlook the severity and impact of obesity simply because there's not a good educational background on the subject. Obesity is in fact preventable, and a person can decrease his or her chance of becoming obese simply by adopting a healthy lifestyle of regular physical activity and a properly balanced nutritious diet. One possible contributor to the obesity increase in the United States among children is the overconsumption of junk foods. Junk foods are classified as foods that are high in fat, calories, and sugar and do not contain a good quality of nutrition. Examples of junk foods include chips, sodas, and candy. The access of junk foods has become readily available to almost anyone, especially kids who attend school. During school hours, children's eating habits are not monitored, and therefore children are able to make their own decisions regarding what they want to consume during their meals. In order to further understand this concept, I will first discuss the statistical rise in childhood obesity in the United States and the definition of competitive foods. Next, the school environment and impact on a student's eating habits. And finally, the school's reliance upon competitive foods sales. According to the Journal of the American Medical Association 2010, research has found that the rate of childhood obesity has tripled in the past 30 years. Junk foods in schools are called competitive foods because they are foods that are not associated with the school lunch program and do not have to meet the dietary requirements provided by the USDA. Who sells competitive foods in schools? Nearly all high schools, elementary schools, and middle schools participate in competitive food sales. According to the article, Junk Foods in Schools and Childhood Obesity by Ashlesha Datar in the Journal of Policy and Analysis Management, Spring 2012, 97% of high schools, 82% of middle schools, and 17% of elementary schools have vending machines. It is also noted that 93% of high schools, 92% of middle schools, and 71% of elementary schools have a la carte lines located in cafeterias. Many of the foods available in the vending machines and a la carte lines are classified as junk foods. How is the school environment impacting a child's eating habits? According to the article, Competitive Food Sales in Schools and Childhood Obesity, a longitudinal study by Jennifer Van Hook and the American Sociological Association, 2012, found that since a large part of a student's day is spent at school, children are more likely to eat foods that are readily available to them because they are hungry, regardless of whether that food is considered to be healthy or unhealthy. Another report titled, Are Competitive Foods Making Our Children Fat? By Mary Story in Health Affairs 2010 found that kids have better diets when competitive foods are not sold on school property. In her research, Mary Story also found that when healthy foods are available to students, that students are more likely to consume and purchase these items. Why are competitive foods sold in schools? Nutrition concerns aside, competitive foods actually generate a massive amount of revenue for schools. Many schools depend on this revenue to support school funding efforts in school athletic and educational departments. According to the article Junk Foods in Schools and Childhood Obesity by Ashlesha Datar in the Journal of Policy and Analysis Management, Spring 2012, vending machines earn an average of $1,000 to $9,999 per year, and a la carte sales average revenue sales of about $15,233 per year. Without this additional funding for schools, many schools will struggle to find ways to supplement the lost funds. In conclusion, I hope that you have a better understanding that the increased consumption of competitive foods in schools can contribute to the risk for children to develop obesity or become overweight. Knowing how the school environment can play a role in students' eating habits can help raise awareness for schools to improve the nutritional value of competitive foods sold in schools. Educating kids on the importance of choosing healthy options could also help improve a child's diet and overall health in general.